This is Comic Picks by the Glick.
Hey, I'm your host, Jason Glick.
Hey, Jason Glick, how are you doing?
I'm good, John. Yourself?
I'm doing infinitely better.
I see what you did there. Well done, sir.
Yes. so, yes. So I think that the app word is that stay tuned, right?
Yes. It's like
Bec-
I promise we're doing we're talking about one series for this podcast. The one you're expecting will come at the next one.
All right. Well, with that said, what do you have on store for us tonight?
So now I'm talking about like what is probably the what is easily one of the best creator owned superhero comics it's like I've ever read. Well, no, scratch that. Is the best creator owned superhero comic I have read. It is the one series that has the balls to title itself the best superhero comic in the universe and the quality to back itself up. I'm talking about Robert Kirkman's Invincible. And it's not just Robert Kirkman. It's just like, well, he has been the writer for all 144 issues of the series. He has also been backed by two extremely talented collaborators, from co-creator Corey Walker to regular artist for the majority of the series, Ryan Otley. Just like telling us the story of Mark Grayson and the insanely drama-ridden story that he has had to endure once he found out that he has superpowers. Now, Invincible started off. Now it's like I've talked about Invincible before. In fact, I've been talking about Invincible. It's like for a good portion that my blog and podcast has been in existence. So just the fact that the fact that I like this series should not should be pretty evident from whoever's listening to this right now. And it's like, and I guess it's like when it comes down to it, these 25 volumes, like I bought the series in single volume form, not from the start really, but once I heard that hey, the series is really good. It's like I thought, oh, okay, I'll give it a shot. And hey, you know what? I found out that hey, it was honestly pretty great. In fact, one of the things that if you're going to start reading the series, you really need to start with the hardcover collection that collects the first 13 issues, because it's like these first 13 issues really kind of showcase the it's the genre tweaking conventions that the series really specializes in. Both the fact that it starts off with Mark Grayson just learning that he's heir to a great superpower tradition. Like his dad is like the superhero Omni Man, and that and because he's a superhero, Mark is going to get superpowers as well. And then when Mark finally gets superpowers, when he throws his garbage, the garbage that he's lugging around for his part-time job, he's like, oh sweet man. It's while Marvel and DC had made it made lots of great stories over the years about the angst that comes with people getting superpowers. These early issues of Invincible made a great job of celebrating it. It's a showing that hey, this is something that's meant to be fun, so meant to be celebrated. That Mark's got superpowers, and now he's gonna be a superhero as well. It's and his dad, Nolan Grayson or Omni Man, is gonna show him the ropes, and and there's in these early issues, especially with the first volume, they do a great job of establishing that. Just showing him it's how understanding the conventions, and just the bits where hey, even though Omni Man gets sucked into a alternate dimension with these Flaxen aliens, it's for 8 months of their time. It's he shows up back in our time. It's huh, man. It's it's no big thing. It's it's just it does a great job of playing on our expectations of the superhero genre, and showing it. Hey, it's something that can be really fun as well, as opposed to filled with drama. But it's the great thing about these, like I said, these first 3 volumes, basically shows that he's Kirkman and Walker and Otley basically show us that hey, that no, not only that superheroes that these superhero conventions are like something that not only be embraced but can also be used to show deals even more drama unexpectedly, such as the point in the middle of Volume 2 when we find out that Omni Man basically kills off the Justice League as Guardians of the Globe because he's actually a Viltrumite, like an alien who's part of an empire that is marked Earth for potential conquest. And when Volume 3 rolls around, it's now his job to convince his son that now hey, because I'm Viltrumite, you're part of our culture. You've got to join me. It's like, and in order to advance our empire's agenda of conquest. And Mark is like, not having none of this, and shit gets real, man. It's like just from the fact that he fights his dad because he believes that hey, it's like this is my planet. It's full of people that I love, and I can't believe that you would say that that my mom and your wife is like none like means nothing to you. And it's like I said, it's filled with great drama. It's like, and when and even when Mark, when Nadia is prepared to do his son in, it's like, hey, Mark finally comes up with the best question to put to his dad in order to prevent this. And it's like I said, the great thing about this series is that it's very much like Kirkman's other series, The Walking Dead. It displays a very self-aware, displays a great self-awareness of the conventions of the genre that it embodies in order to subvert them as well. In fact, looking at my reread of all 25 volumes, over the past couple of weeks, it's like there's I think that the series, the reason the series lasted 144 issues, is Kirkman's willingness to just just try and either find some way to either embrace or tweak drama, tweak superhero convention in a way that it's they felt freed from the constraints of of a superhero universe. It's like when at one point in the series when it's like when Mark teamed up with the villain Dinosaurus, who had a very intellectual way of dealing with of acknowledging that humans are destroying the environment. It's like, and we're going to ruin the world. It's like, I've got a better way to deal with this, and it involves destroying Las Vegas. And when he destroyed Las Vegas and eventually was repurposed as a giant solar plant, Mark realized, wow, it's like he was actually right. But so what can I do with? So how can I? He's got a point there. So how can I team up with him in order to make his crazed Dinosaurus, he's a madman, but he's also got a way. He's also got a way to make humanity better. It's so if I team up with him, I can find a way to make things work. Now, when this happened in the series, I looked at it and thought, wow, it's because it's this isn't part of Marvel or Marvel or DC standards of superheroics. It's this can actually work. He can actually find a way to work with dinosaurs in order to make the world a better place. And that's probably the best thing going for Invincible is that free to Marvel or DC's the fact that hey, superheroes have to act in a certain way. They can't change the world too much because that would wreck the formula and all. Now, I'll acknowledge, and now, well, I could definitely suspend disbelief up to that point. There's the bit with Dinosaurus didn't quite work out, didn't quite be as genre changing as I was hoping. In fact, rereading the series, I mean, Kirkman like thrives on like almost like offering new dramatic twists to the status quo. Not quite with each issue, but maybe with each arc. And for the most part, it's like it's like I it's like rereading it. It's fun to see him like play with convention, but also just like look at these things and go, it doesn't. No, it's like he didn't quite subvert things like the way I was expecting right there. But there have been like plenty of like great highlights as well from the epic action of the Viltrumite War. It's like where Mark, his dad, and his half brother Oliver team up to finally put the Viltrumites like out of commission. It's like or the it's like or the great bit or the great Dun One crossover issue of it's like featured in Still Standing, where everyone in the quote unquote image shared universe teams up to fight evil versions of Invincible. It's like that. Like that was a ton of fun. It's like or like even the epic death of everyone, where Mark has it out with Dinosaurus. It's like and eventually reaches a reconciliation with his former government handler Cecil Stedman. It's like or even like reboot where Mark like winds up having to relive his it's like his early days as like as a superhero. It's like and Kirkman has lots of fun with like trying to just even though like that this is an arc that should have gone for 6 issues and didn't, but he just like has so much fun just like playing with like the like what we've experienced over the course of the series and it's like recalibrating it as to like hey what would you do for these events if you had knowledge of what comes afterward. That was a lot of fun. It's like, and even like more difficult stuff, like when Mark is sexually assaulted by one of the Viltrumites, Nissa. It's like in volume 20. It's like that's really difficult to talk about because it's like on one hand it's like it's on one hand like, you want to like give Kirkman and Utley credit for just saying asking what happens when like the male lead of a superhero comic is sexually assaulted and how does he deal with it. It's like and on one hand it's like the follow up it's like you would expect to be all consuming but it's not. At the same time though there's still acknowledgement of it as he talks about it with his wife Eve and with his dad Nolan at like after a certain point. Like I said, it's maybe not as successful as it could have been, but it's still the kind of thing that it's like it's he. Yeah, I'm gonna say he deserves guts for like actually discussing in the first place. So there you go. So there's been like lots of genre busting stuff over the course of Invincible, and really it's also been a supremely illustrated series like for over its entire run. In fact, this is probably one of the while the series like I said, the series was started being illustrated by an artist named Corey Walker. He stepped back from the series when he realized that he wasn't able to commit to monthly grind, unlike like another artist. I'm probably not going to go into that here, but while Ryan Otley stepped up and showed that he's one of the best superhero artists in the business over the course of the following 25 volumes, and like there's like a wealth of emotional detail. It's like and just like raw detail as well. It's like just like he is like insane when it comes to like like you either developing like double page, full page spreads or 16-panel grids. It's like whatever Kirkman asked of him in order to make a scene work. It's like Otley stepped up and it was fantastic. It's also worth noting that Corey Walker was not shut out of the process as well. It's like, in fact, he came back at several points to illustrate like issues and scenes in it's like it like in the subsequent volumes as well. It's like, so it's actually really nice to know that, even though it's like Otley isn't the primary artist of the series, Walker has been a constant creative presence in the series right up until the very end, when he contributes to the back half of the final issue from Volume 25. And in fact, let's talk about that right now, because it's like the final two volumes are basically a two-part epic, in the sense that they're both titled, they're parts one and two of the end of all things, because after Walker came back for a 6 issue run to allow Otley 6 issues to do his own thing. Otley basically told Kirkman that, hey, it's like I'm kind of like working my I think I'm basically done here. It's like I want to go and do something else. And then Kirkman realized that, hey, and this is, I'm not saying like speculative fear. Like Kirkman basically realized that, hey, like I think this is it as well. So basically, they both came to realize that, the volumes 20, this 12 these 12 issues that comprise volumes 24 and 25 were the end. And so, like, they came up with a good 12 the good 12 issue arc, in the sense that um it all focuses on Thrag, the regent leader of the Viltrumites, who was exiled after Mark's father Nolan assumed control, like, of the Empire. It's like he eventually was able to establish his own, like, his own army of Viltrumites through the rapid aging of like a certain alien race. And now it's Thrag is was about ready to it's like the rest of the universe. It's like he still has to contend with Mark, his dad Nolan, and the rest of the Viltrumites, as well as a coalition of planets led by Alan the Alien, the great one-eyed alien who initially started off like fighting Mark because he believed that Earth was the planet Urath. It's like way back, it's like in issue 5. So good times all. So now I like the bit. Now, Volume 24 didn't offer you any real surprises as far as like how this like whole final arc is going to play out, except for the fact that it's like when it comes down to it, you would not expect like the final like these kind of stories to like end with, hey, it's like we're going to lead all the aliens to Earth for the final battle, but that's actually what happens here. It's like, and it's like and that's how Volume 24 round up with because Mark and Eve and Alan kept the ultimate plan from Nolan, because while Nolan basically said that, I can't involve the Viltrumites, there's only like 50 of us left, and we've got to like preserve our, well, not 50, like 30 or so of us left, and we've got to preserve our numbers. Like, Mark and everyone realize that that if we're gonna win the fight against Thrag, we're gonna need like the rest of the surviving Viltrumites, and they're all on Earth. So we've got to lead them to Earth for the fight. Great plan. I love it. So, but the final image of Volume 24 ended with Thrag basically doing his doing his trademark punch through someone and ripping out their guts. But it turns out the person he was doing this to was Nolan. So I was fully going into Volume 25, fully expecting to see Nolan dead. It's like at the beginning of it. Now, that's not quite what happened, but in the interest of spoilers, I will say that I definitely approve of Nolan's final fate here. Ditto with Anissa as well, because even though it's like like her rape of Mark was awful, but the fact that her 180-degree personality change. In fact, I think that the biggest issue I have with like these final volumes is like how abrupt these the Viltrumites on Earth, how their personality changes go after living with them. It's like living among humans goes. It's like I really wish that Kirkman had done more to flesh it out, even if it's just one issue, just showing all of the Viltrumites just getting nice and buddy buddy with all the humans. I mean, okay, I'll admit, um, like uh, like General Craig, talking to all of his human wives about, yeah, it's like I was, thoroughly, I was ordered by my empire to impregnate all of you and like progress and propagate the empire. And oh, oh, wait, I've got to go to space right now. I'll talk to you all later. Bye. That was pretty great. That it was funny and all. I loved it, and I would love to see more of like the Viltrumites acclimating to human, um, like to like human life on Earth, and the but as far as the final volume goes, like that, uh, I'd say the Mark's final showdown with Thrag was pretty awesome as they're fighting in the it's like in the as they're fighting in the sun for the fate, like for the fate of everyone. And then Robot or Rex makes his final move in order to protect what he's accomplished on Earth. Now, I haven't they didn't mention Robot, who is kind of he was a misshapen dwarf um who assumed a robot form in order to interact with people in the early volumes of the series, but eventually adopted the form of a fallen character, Rexplode, to in order to like act 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 as a human ambassador for the series. And then he like followed an alien race like on the Monster Girl in order to like followed the Flaxen alien race back to their like home planet with his girlfriend Monster Girl in order to like tame them like in their interdimensional conquering desires. And this lasted for several hundred years. And like this is another thing that Kirkman there's a superhero thing that Kirkman like pulled out really well in it's like in volume 17, What's Happening. Yes, I'm looking at the volumes as we speak right now. But he was a character who wanted to make a better world, but did things, but like he's very mean to justify the NZ. And it's like while he did make a better world and all, rereading this series also makes me realize that it's like he's kind of a villain as well, in the sense that he tried to kill the child that Monster Girl had with one of the Flaxen people, like before they left. It's like, and it's like, even though it's like, yeah, he made this better world. It's like he's like when he tries to kidnap all the Viltrumite children that have been made on Earth, and tries to like use the Viltrumite people to fend off Mark's advance, because he believes that because Mark and he have not seen eye to eye on his takeover Earth. Eventually, like Mark is forced to like hey like to finally have this showdown with with Robot. It's like, and like it's kind of works pretty well. It's like it's I don't know. It's like I think it works pretty well, even though it's like basically like kind of sends Robot back to the same status quo that he had at the very beginning. In fact, it's just kind of interesting to see who Mark leaves in charge of Earth when he leaves it, because the big flash forward issue he had way back in a certain volume has this character basically saying like, "Oh, when you left Earth and like assumed control of the Viltrumite Empire and put me in charge, it's like, oh, like it's like I didn't want that." So I kind of like that. I mean, like, Kirkman may have had general ideas about the how the series was going to end, but I kind of like how it's played out here. In fact, the final the final issue does a good job of just showing us how Mark has to be both a dad to the child that Anissa forced upon him. It's like, and also how things worked out like after he left Earth. In fact, like the first half of the final issue is basically a proper volume of Invincible, and then the back half, like it was first half is issued by Corey Walker, and it's first half is issued by Brian Otley, and it's great, and the second half is issued by Corey Walker, and it's great as well. But it's also basically a massive, hey, we're going to show you like everything that happens to Mark. It's like, and it's like it's basically like the like it's basically a massive, big, mega happy ending that I think works pretty well. And when Mark like tells a particularly warlike alien after said alien has broken a sword over Mark's face that no, it's like, hey, it's like peace, love, and understanding. That's the Viltrumite way. It's like I think it works pretty well, and especially when Mark at the very end tells him like goes back to that the conversation that he had with his dad when he was fighting him like way back like in volume 3. He said, what will you have after 500 years? And we have our answer at the end of the series, and it's great. I love it. And and also anyone who was looking at Adam Eve's big Deus Ex Machina move at the very end of volume 23 and thought, yeah, that's kind of like a that's kind of some epic level bullshit she's pulling right there. Well, on one hand, yes, you're right, but the back half of volume 25, it's like I approve of how the epic level bullshit is rationalized right there. So there you go. Overall, it's like, there have been lots of great runs on superhero titles from Marvel and DC over the years. Stuff that is absolutely essential, and I would absolutely say that you need to have like in your library as well. But the thing is, though, it's like that after these runs, there's always something more. Like there's always something that comes after these runs. So whether it's Grant Morrison's run on X-Men, Scott Snyder's run on Batman, like these kinds of series that there's always going to be something else that comes after them that basically says is going to ask hey, it's like this is like a complete story, but like hey, like there's still more to it to come after that. When it comes to Invincible, volumes 1 through 25 are a great complete story. It's like if you were looking to like have something to say to like basically sum up what is how to sum up like American superhero comics in one complete run, I think Invincible is probably the best answer for that. No, maybe it doesn't quite reach the absolute stress here. It's a certain runs on superhero titles, but the fact that Invincible is like the story of one character, like Mark Grayson's like strolls from learning that he has superpowers to assuming to mastering them to becoming like leader of an empire and changing them for the better. That it's a great complete story right there. So, like I said, if you like I said, I'm the kind of guy that's perfectly fine with just buying great runs of like superheroes, whether it's Superman or Batman or Wolverine or the X-Men or the Justice League. I can It's like you tell me there's a great run of these characters, and I can all pick them up no matter what. But it's like if you're looking for like all this stuff that has a beginning and an end to it, like Invincible is where it's at. It's like you can, like I said, it's a great complete story. It's 144 issues, 25 volumes, and that sounds a lot. But if you really want to narrow it down, it is also like say 12 hardcover volumes and 3 compendiums. If you really want to like dial it all down to that, it's great stuff. And if you're looking at the very best that American superhero comics has to offer, I definitely recommend that. So like I said, it's a series that at the very at that you know like made a nice little joke of like calling itself probably the best superhero comic in the universe. And by the end, like it declared itself like the best superhero comic in the universe. And you know what? I It takes a lot of balls to say that, and yeah, I do think it's definitely earned that. So there you go, John. I know if you're still awake at this point. Um, anything you'd like to add at this point?
No, not to this particular volume that you've been reviewing here. So it sounds like you definitely recommend it, though.
Absolutely. Like I said, it's like Invincible. It's 25 volumes in single volume form, 12 volumes in hardcover, and like I said, 3 compendiums. But the third compendium will be coming out uh, probably sometime later this summer, I believe. So there you go. If you want to hold off on it if you want to like hold off on it at that point. So there you go.
And next episode, what are you going to review?
Oh well, when it comes to like corporate perpetuating superheroes, well, I guess there's only one thing to talk about at this point, and that would be like Avengers, Infinity stuff.
Infinity stuff. All right.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. Or anyway, I was gonna say something about Thanos Quest, but hey, nah. Not really Thanos Quest, by the way. So, Thanos's Quest.
Yeah, I should probably look into that as well too.
Yep, exactly. All right, we'll catch you next time on Comic Picks by the Glick.
All right, later.
Bye.